to another exciting and thought-provoking show, the Love Power Show, called Somebody, because we're on the air, screaming loud and sparing none, discussing all of the relevant issues, everything from the sublime to the ridiculous. We make the sublime clear. We make the ridiculous make sense. And we do that because we have guests who are interesting, exciting, fascinating, knowledgeable, and I might add, thought-provoking. We debate the issues. We take the positions, define and defend those positions. We offer analysis. We present solutions, provide leadership. Yes, I said leadership, and we provoke thought. Today we are talking about the aftermath of the Million Man March. Boycott, one of my favorite words, and the way forward. Analysis, a preview, investing money, setting priorities and saving money, investing in land. We're talking about all the way through so-called Christ Mass. And right here now, we have Omar Baruti, Talut El-Amin, and we are expecting more guests who attended the Million Man March. And I'm going to go to you first, Omar. You had some interesting questions and things. Start us off. What is the way forward for however you want to characterize us? Colored people, people of color, black people, African Americans, around the globe.
You know, right now, the Caucasian race is a minority on the earth, but the Caucasian race controls most of the earth, especially when it comes to economics. And I heard Ron Paul, when he was in the Senate, say that there are 194 countries in the world, and America has a military base in 130 of them. And he said they're not there by invitation. They're there to rape and rob the country of its resources and its mineral wealth, and to rob the people of their economic development. The way you go back and take control of your destiny is to take away the power that they have over us economically. That's the first place you start. And right now, black people in America, with $1.3 trillion going through their hands in any given year, we're giving all of our money to the people that don't like us, and the people that control us, and the people that's actually trying to kill us. What we need to do is take those dollars and put it back into our own community, develop our own neighborhoods, invest in our own children and their future, and then we can do something about our reality. As long as we depend on him to do it and keep our hands out hoping he'll put a crumb in it, we can forget that. It's not going to happen.
Okay, and you say Ron Paul made that original statement.
Yes.
The father of Rand Paul.
The father of Rand Paul,
right,
yes.
He said something about Caucasians, and Ron Paul is
He's a
Caucasian
Caucasian
man.
himself, yes.
Made this statement.
Yes.
Right. So, Talut, same question. You attended the Million Man March.
Yes.
And so the question is, the way forward, boycott, African Americans setting the proper priorities, and invest. Mr. Farrakhan says something about investing in property, purchasing land throughout the rest of this year. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, yes, I did attend the Million Man March, and it was probably one of the most rewarding events I've ever attended, in that so many of our people were there, and others, expressing themselves in hundreds of different ways, from various organizations from across the country to individuals with concerns who were holding signs and getting attention. The effect of that on me was profound.
Okay.
Having never witnessed our people coming together in that many numbers. And the profound effect is as a result of what I witnessed with my own eyes. I didn't see any violence whatsoever. I saw people who were kind to each other by the tens of thousands. Okay. I saw people helping one another, you know, talking in different ways that assist one another in what they were doing back home and in their homes. I didn't hear one word of profanity. I didn't hear anyone accost a woman. I didn't hear, or I didn't see anyone smoking or smoking dope or anything like that. And that was probably 1.5 million people.
Okay.
Okay, and it's just profound. Only thing that I did notice is the silence. The people were very, very quiet.
Okay.
Okay, and you get that many people together, and you notice the silence. That kind of sent a message that obviously these are not the people that the mass media writes about back home. Okay, where they are always writing about the crime and the violence and the hate and all these things like that in our press. So obviously these 1.5 million people are not those people.
Okay.
These 1.5 million people at the Million Man March is another people.
Another.
Okay? Yeah, it's another people.
Right.
Because I didn't see anything remotely close to what I would come back and pick my newspaper up and read about.
Okay.
Okay. But this is something that we, I'm not pondered over the fact that, like Hajj, for an example. Okay. 3 million people make Hajj every year. And they just make Hajj and just go do what they do. And just come back. No one put demands on them to come back and solve some social problems and solve this problem and unify. Those people just go to Hajj, do what they do, and come back. 3 million or more. Why is it that when black people assemble in large numbers, among ourselves and others, we're supposed to come back and do something? Why is that? We should just go and enjoy, do what we do there and come back. Shouldn't be any demands of proving our unity. We got to prove our unity because we need to do something in the neighborhood. We need to wear t-shirts saying something. We need to get the little children and get them to do things. We need to do this and do that. We don't need to do any of that. The thing is, we have been programmed to think about our inferiority. And when I said program, I've used the word colonize too. We think of ourselves as inferior. So therefore, anything we do outside of the neighborhood and try to make our points or our ideas known, someone tag us with, but you need to be doing something. Well, I don't do anything. Just be a man.
Be a man.
Be human.
Okay. Let me do something real quick. Al, Kazi, Dr. Alsobrook, Omar Booker, and anyone else who wants to call. Alan, we haven't heard from you in a while. The number to call is 901-327-2500. I want to do a couple more things too. Jabril Shabazz, Marcus Garvey Institute. The Love Power Show wants to join with him, and we want to organize volunteers and donors to get the school up and running. Contact Brother Jabril Shabazz for further information, instruction, guidance, and whatever the case may be. And one other announcement, on the 14th of next month, Memphis Productions sponsoring an event where Omar, you know about this, Shahrazad Ali is going to be at the MLK Center teaching and talking about man-woman relationships. She's saying something about where you find a bad man, you find a bad woman. Now that's interesting because years ago, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying that where you find a bad woman, you find a bad man, you find a bad woman. So the two must be interchangeable. They both sound good to me. So it's about developing relationships and etc. So on the 14th of November, is that right, Omar? Exactly. At the MLK Center, doors open at 4, event starting at 4:30. All right, and we'll give more information out as we go forward. Isaac, I believe we have a caller on the line. Come on in, caller.
Morning, brothers. Brother Kazi here.
Yes.
Can you hear me clearly? I guess I better make sure of that. Because of the last call, I think sometime ago. Can you hear me that nation, of course, consists of our spiritual need institutions, our economic institutions, and our cultural institutions. And I think that's just something we can assume that is present in every African person at home and abroad. We want our own piece of land, as the Caribbean people say. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we are talking about on the motherland.
Okay.
Africa is, as far as I'm concerned, wherever African people are, home and abroad. So Minister Farrakhan, in his statement, the reason I'm saying that I didn't attend the 20-year anniversary, but of course I was there at the 20th, at the First Lady Land March, which I was for a moment, and for the thing that I had hoped, brothers, not to be disagreeable on this, but I had hoped the minister would come to the point to which he just about got there for me, close enough. Come to the point that Brother Malcolm was right. What he said was right. And I was happy to see that the minister did produce the children of Uncle Elijah Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful family that he exhibited and displayed.
That he did.
Happy to see that.
Yes.
And it's a question of whether or not, you can have more than one wife and so forth, all that, the theology of it. I'll leave that to the theologians and whether it's Baptist, Christian, Islam, Buddha. But what I'm talking about nationalism means that every culture has its own institution, and they are presented within the context of the culture. If you're Irish, you're talking about our land, a little small island. If you're talking about Scotland, you're talking about Scotland, another little small island, British Isle, another little small island, brother Talut, brother Peru, they may look like. They're a large group of people, but they're small.
Okay.
In numbers. They are, in fact, the minority. This event paved the way for me that said, when I lived in Harlem, Brother Malcolm had already started the economic changes in Harlem.
Okay, Kazi, we only have an hour now.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm going to end this very, very quickly because
All right.
you're absolutely right. I just wanted to accept the context of what I'm going to invite the brothers who are there with you and others to allow me to show you what I see here in Memphis on a daily basis and why I have come to the conclusion that the most serious action that we need to take is economic. Of course, that's another thing that the minister said. He said the else means that we're going to take some economic action, and that's important.
Okay.
But also, I will add, builders must step forward.
30 seconds, Kazi. Wrap it up in 30 seconds. We love you here, brother.
I'll be very pleased.
You're a little long-winded.
I'm asking you, can you spare maybe about an hour of time sometime next week?
We've already agreed on that.
You,
Yes.
all
Yes.
what I'm talking about and what it is that we are in competition with here in Memphis. I really thank you, brother, for your time.
All right. Thank you, Brother Kazi, for calling. All right. You have another call?
No, sir.
Okay. Omar Baruti, I want to go to you next. But we have Jeffrey has come in. We have a special guest, Brother Malik, and you're with the new Black Panther Party. All right. make yourself acquainted. We have some other guests in the house, and Brother Lonnie is here, is that right?
Yes, sir.
But I do want to go to you, Omar, on something. In terms of, he said something about investing in land. So going forward, throughout this year, should we be talking about investing in land, or as we withdraw our money from this economic system, African Americans, and saving money, investing it properly? Can you say something about that, and we'll go around the table?
Yes, before I say that, let me say that the views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of those that advertise with us.
Okay?
And I want to make a point that my comments are being supported by the law office of Deshaun Peoples. And you can reach Deshaun Peoples at 901-605-3887. He is handling the case of the killing of Darius Stewart, the unarmed young man that was killed right here in Memphis just a few weeks ago. And also brought to you by the New Beginnings, Bright Beginnings Learning Academy on Wickham. And that person is Jamila Paler. Her number is 461-1546. If you want a beautiful experience for your children before they go into the regular school system, go to New Beginnings, Bright Beginnings Learning Academy. Now, let's go back to the question. Malcolm said for years and years that land is the basis for all freedom. You can't have freedom until you have land. And when you look at it, America is on everybody else's land, taking away their economic riches. Black folk need to invest in land. We had millions of acres of land when we came out of slavery. And most of that land has been taken away from us. Sometimes we give our land to our children as an inheritance, and they don't know what to do with it, so they end up losing it to a tax sale, or losing it to somebody who comes by and give them a few pennies on a dollar, and then they end up with the land. We've got to have land if we're going to have freedom. Those two go hand in hand.
And that is something that has definitely been problematic for African Americans, losing our land.
Yes.
I know of many stories in that regard. In fact, that is a story that affects my life right today, and my siblings and relatives and cousins, etc. But I want to go to you, Jeffrey. Talut pointed out something that he saw at the Million Man March, and that is something that made me think about love and trust. And in doing what African Americans have to do, it seems like something that's insignificant, but in my mind, the ability, the capacity for us to love and trust one another, and to be able to negotiate whatever our mad disagreements may be, is quite important. Talk about that and say something about your experience at the Million Man March. I'm going to see if I can.
Definitely, in this mission to obtain what we need as a people, we have to look into a lens and try to find ways to include those people of different factions. And you see what's going on is we have a history of, we have people that take leadership roles within certain organizations, and all through history we have examples of, let's say we had back in the 1920s and 30s, we had Brother Marcus Garvey along with Brother Noble Drew Ali and Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. You see, they were all on the scene at the same time, but they had disagreements, and like we say many times on the Love Power Show, we're going to have to find ways to work through these different disagreements. And you see, we can only work through these disagreements through love and trust of one another, as we are all a part of something that is the same. And so that love and trust becomes paramount to us unifying and organizing and moving forward with an initiative going forward in the future. And then just to go back and speak on my experience at the Million Man March, I heard Brother Talut, and I was wondering what Brother Talut was going to say about it, but you really expressed what it did for me as well. I remember one of the very first things the minister said when he got on the stage was, look, it doesn't matter if we came out here with 2 people, 3 people, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. If we leave this function and this event without carrying something with us, then something positive with us that'll affect ourselves and us as a community and a nation, then everything that we've done just being gathered to there would be in vain.
Okay.
And I refuse to be, for that to be the case with me.
Okay.
And I hope that's the case with everybody who made it there.
I understand. Brother Kaiser just said something about taking action. Isaac, do we have a call on the line?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to the phone lines.
Go ahead and call you on there.
Brother Red, this is Brother Book over here.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Brother Booker.
We enjoying the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All the information y'all give. I like to urge our children, grandchildren, nephews, and nieces to watch Roots tonight. They need to see it.
What time is it on? I saw something about that. What time?
On station 6 or 7.
Okay. Roots tonight.
Just a series, then I get to continue tomorrow,
Okay.
next week. I like for our young folks to really check that out, man,
All right.
and see where we come from, you know.
All right.
Really know that Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Another thing I want to say too, seems like God is going to give Lamar Odom another chance. Hard and heavy with the arms, spending your money, in the poorhouse, excuse me. Drugging, maybe he'll learn a lesson. I hope that he learns a lesson. He come out of it some kind of way. They say he's improving. But that's where we give our money. I'm sorry, I think the girls actually hang around them. They don't have to hit on the girls. But when I heard the girls, they have these little groupies and things like that. That's why O.J. Simpson, so many other black athletes give their money away. And thank you for
All right. Thank you, Brother Omar, for calling.
making somebody have something to comment about that.
Appreciate your call. Okay. Let's go now to our guest. Brother Malik. Introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. I'm Brother Malik Ibn Rashid out of Jackson, Tennessee. The regional spokesman for the new Black Panther Party, as well as the local chief of staff in Jackson, Tennessee. The question about land,
Yes.
I think we must come together to practice group economics, and definitely there's no way around it. We have to have land, because right now after the Million Man March, the agenda was clear that we have to start doing for ourselves that we have been begging other nationalities to do for us for years, and it have never got accomplished. So now it's time for our people to stand up to the plate, step up, come together. Like I said, practice group economics. Start spending your black dollars with other black businesses, and that way we can be able to buy land so we can start our nation, and we can start off with hospitals, grocery stores, banks, taxi cab services, whatever needs we need, we should be able to go to one of our brothers for those needs. So land would definitely, I think in my eyes, go hand in hand with group economics.
Okay. Thank you. Lonnie. You have a question or comment? You went to the march. Step to the microphone, please.
Yes, sir. I had an experience of my life when I went. You know, it's the first time I've been around.
The experience of a lifetime.
Experience of a lifetime.
All right.
It was an experience for me because I haven't been around, you know, that many people, our people that, you know, in an assembly where the main thing was, you know, coming together, unity for our cause. So to me, I believe it was a historic thing, even though we all realize the national news wasn't covering the story as I feel they should, because, you know, they don't want to portray us doing something positive. You know what I'm saying? They would rather portray us doing something, you know, that's caused some type of controversy. But what I saw, and I didn't hear it. Yeah, many incidents went on, you know, but I did see some groups of people that was probably there to antagonize, people, but it didn't work. What they were doing, it didn't work. But other than that, I believe we should do more of that, and it should be nationalized. It should be on the national stage so everybody in the country can see, because I had the opportunity to speak with people that was in the city that was for the cause, and I talked to some people that didn't really understand the cause and wasn't there for the cause. So that was the opportunity for us is just to understand each other. That was my experience. So.
Okay. All right. Talut. Way forward.
Yes.
Boycott. Economic development for however you want to characterize it. Black people, African Americans, new Africans.
We have a call for action, and we need to uphold that call. And that call is to boycott December 25th. Boycotted by not purchasing any items that normally are purchased during the Christmas season. Okay. Now, the concept itself is profound in that you're asking, we are asking our people to hold back on a very, very emotional day. Okay, emotional, not spiritually emotional, but consumer lives emotional. This is a day that we really, 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 really want to spend money, but we really, 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 really are not interested in the spiritual side of it. Okay, and I've heard many people have to come forward and say to us over the years to remind us that Jesus is the reason, they say, because commerce and industry has actually taken over the spirituality of that day. So it's highly emotional in that we really want to spend our money. Okay, we really want to be a part of the American black line that they're all aspiring for during the first of the year. And Christmas is one of those days. It's just one of those consumer days where the industries of America profits big, and their bottom line is basically selling for the end of the year. Okay, and we're a big part of that. And what we should do is not buy anything. We don't have to buy anything. We just not buy anything. We don't have to buy anything. Okay, and that's what Minister Farrakhan is asking the Million Man March, is that we boycott Christmas. Now, boycotting Christmas, unheard of. Why? Why boycott? Poor little Christmas. We need Christmas, right? Because some people said Jesus was born December 25th, but they don't act like it. They get drunk, they buy all kinds of stuff and do all kinds of things with their money. They don't act like that's a religious day at all. Okay, and we need to take it seriously that it is not a religious day. It's a consumer's day. Okay, and we need to express our power to the world, not just America. The whole world make money off of us during the Christmas season. So we have to express to the world that we are here to be heard. And we are tired of accepting murder from the Caucasian killer cops in our community. And that's an adequate response, because what happened is, if we do boycott Christmas, and the purpose is to get the killer cops off our backs, you have to understand, to big industry, a policeman is absolutely zero. They mean nothing to big industry. And if cops are out killing our people, and big industry said, look, these people have caused a boycott and we're not making our money, you're going to have to stop that, fire these people, put them in prison, do what what needs to be done to them. It's an appropriate response. Boycott for our lives, basically is what we're saying. Boycott so that our young men and fathers black men and fathers can walk down the street safely. Now, people are saying one thing, that who's gonna stop us, black men and boys, from killing black men and boys in our neighborhood? We'll solve our own damn problem. Okay, it's our problem. We'll solve it when we get ready. But this commerce and this buying and squandering our money off is all of our problem. Not only black problem, it's the world's problem. And